Chapter 11. A heavy feeling rests on the shoulders of Kota. He has no idea where to go. The relationship with Demura is now broken, like a lost vase. Kota hums, thinking out loud, like an internet modem. 2 doors. 2 large shadows stand behind the glass door. Kota looks at the large balcony. The rain beats silently on the thick panoramic window. Demura is making noise. He is complaining. The hand falls on the steel under the arm. The heart rate increases. The danger is close, like a biting dog running at one's heels. Kota rushes over to the man. Get ready to react, at the slightest alarm. Demura sits upright. He wipes the wet blood away from his nose. Rises. Without saying a word, he walks over to his desk. Looking at the screens showing green and red lines. Shares think Kota. The man pulls out the drawer. Takes out a white cloth. Wipes away the rest of the blood. It doesn't take many seconds before the cloth is burgundy. It is fun, says Demura. His voice is unchanged from the previous conversation. Kota feels a different sensation in his body. It is as if the battle has been forgotten. The man reacts without anger or fear. That worries Kota. He cannot predict the situation. The clock says 17:02. Kota feels an overwhelming wall of worries. It has now been 28 years since I have boxed and earned this crooked nose. 12 of the years I haven't been able to smell. It has been 6 weeks since I had surgery. And then you come and destroy it again. 1 week was missing, then it was healed. But in the end I'm happy about that. Glad you ruined it again. When you have been in a man built up of strength through struggle, then it can be an upheaval to enter this profession. Businessman, manager, CEO and all the fancy titles. Sometimes you miss the good old days. It's what you call nostalgia. Sounds appropriate. I missed not being able to smell. And I missed a proper fight. Demura tells as he wipes more blood away from his nose. Kota looks for an opening in the window. There is no, only large blocks of glass, thick enough for a tank to drive over them without taking damage. Kota puts his palm on. Cold to the bone. However, I'm not sure whether I should thank you or liquidate you. If it were up to me, I would like to choose thank you. You are funny. I've seen worse punches though, but you're more into kicking, can I understand? Yes, that's more what the others said. And then I can feel it. Kota. What now? I'm out of ideas. As I said before, a verbal contract is as good as a written contract, and a handshake has the same value as a signature. We shook hands, signed in blood. I would suggest you take this contract with you. Get the girl to sign. It's your only chance to survive now. You know I have more men walking out there. They are not armed. You are right about that, it is well seen. But it's not the half-truth wrong. It's mostly for looks. It is never good to scare your investors or partners. There are very few places in the world where you run around with pistols and assault rifles. It scares people, so I can guess that all the vases contain weapons? Correct. It is not that difficult to calculate, as long as you know the fact that the company belongs to Konakatsu. So everyone knows we are armed and dangerous. We defend ourselves, the old-fashioned way. Led from the hip. It's just about having the company in the front, and the party behind the facade. Don't talk about what I do now. Where do I find the girl? First, you get her to sign the contract. That gives me the right to inherit a percentage of Konakatsu's fortune. Then you can go, with no problems? Wait, what about the girl? She has to go and sign the contract to take over the fortune first. Not necessarily, she just needs to make a will. Either way, the inheritance will be distributed rightfully to her. If she dies, she inherits without having to sign. After that, her legacy continues. I'm just keeping her here safe. I want the girl, snarling Kota. You want the girl? Demura sits down in the chair. He leans over the desk. Interlacing fingers. I protect her, all the way. So where is she? No response from Demura. Kota walks in front of the table. Hammers his fist into the thick piece of wood. I have nothing to fear. As long as she signs, the hope for a piece of the fortune is mine. Looks like I can cut a deal. Just you learn that we are not like the Yakuza. Can be negotiated. This is not an action movie. You can't just go and hit people. Do you want to shoot them again? Demura asks. He looks at the glinting steel under Kota's arm. Hope is not a strategy. You are quite right. So what do you propose, Commissioner? She signs your contract, and we go from here. I will surely get her to that point of agreement. That plan sounds quite reasonable. You just have to be aware that Konakatsu consists of many clans who all want a piece of the pie. You're just lucky that I have more human sense than the others. Where are you going? Demura asks. He leans back in the chair. The look is judgmental. Kota pulls the knuckles off the table. Osaka. Kota replies dryly. Demura nods. The head moves like a nodding doll. A few seconds pass before he answers. There is no way around it. You will hit all the clan's districts on the way. Are you prepared for it? Are you prepared for her to die a worse death than you can afford to give her now? She's not going to die. Ignorance is the only happiness for the tortured soul. If you find yourself bound to the fact that everyone around you will attack you, then you are welcome to continue. I have no further use for you. Death or not, the result will ultimately be the same. I just had to make sure she signed my contract. After that, someone else can take over everything else. Where is she? Kota asks. The fingers rest on the gun. The phone is ringing. They both look down at the black machine. Buzzing across the desk. Demura takes over. Disconnects the call. I still haven't decided what will happen. I asked earlier if you wanted liquidation or a thank you. You chose a thank you. Now is the time to man up. Just like in movies, you can threaten me to tell the information. Maybe leave me tied to the chair, with my tie in my mouth. It's about being proactive, brave. Switch off once in a while. Did you never learn that? I choose not to switch off. But you are talking out of hand. It's called politics. It is hidden in every conversation and meeting. We have a meeting, and it is colored by politics. This is too easy. Can't you say it directly what you want? Right now you have me where you want me and can decide whatever you want. As long as I get the girl. If you now meet the other managers, be sure to create disorder. Kill if you can. Kill every leader. Now there is more to share. The rules prohibit us from killing each other, and will automatically create a war between the clans. A man from outside who can create disorder. It's a loophole as long as no one hires you as an assassin. It's self-defense, Commissioner. Don't look so worried. You take what you want. You can fight, I've seen. You can probably shoot too. I would recommend you to use that option. Now more clan leaders you execute. Now more you do the others a favor. Sounds like you want the others dead. But better tell me how Konakatsu can be murdered. If you hadn't done it, who would? That is the fantastic thing about the work. You don't die old. Everyone has enemies and everyone is out to create disorder. It is ultimately politics. It's about reacting and reigning in power. All we as clan leaders do is delegate that power. Equal benefit, but one can, calmly, demand more than the others. But that is politics, Commissioner. This isn't about you. You get the girl back and leave. Doing your job for whomever you took orders from. However, I have a terrible premonition that at the moment I am going to walk around like a living target. I have a scary feeling. Mostly for her safety. Is there any kind of warranty I can get from you? A passport, a sign, something. You're right. I have to give you that. You know the bounty is high on her head and you are now not worth much. I interpreted you as an abscess that needed to be removed, but after seeing what you can do, I now propose a trade. Yes, I know the saying well. What is free usually comes with a higher price. Yes, you have to say that. Expect enemies. I would recommend you to turn it off. We're done here. I have several calls to make. Commissioner, in the parking lot, there is a car waiting for you. You will be handed a weapon. So far you have chosen my gun. Am I the one to thank now? Kota asks. He turns around, places a hand on the thigh. The phone is still there. He looks at his watch. 17:28. Something you need to reach? Demura asks. He clicks around on the computer. Takes the phone in hand. Finds a number. No, I'll get it at some point. Perhaps one day. Let's see how long you live. You find out for yourself. I'm just making a call. Kota turns his back. Unpleasant feeling. Kota is scared. He fears an ambush. Paranoia pumps through the veins. His senses are overpowered. The door opens. The two guards step away. Kota jumps forward. Feels everyone's eyes on the back. In staggered movements, he walks towards the exit. Along the corridor. Through the lobby. A lady wearing red and gold looks at him. She smiles. Slender. Kota reacts with shock. Did your meeting go well? She asks. A voice that sounds as if the speech was recorded. Kota looks at her uncomprehendingly. He feels his forehead. Pain. The blood has coagulated. Yes, it went well. He answers. Rushing to the big door. A guard stands at the end of the stairs. Big as a rhinoceros. The suit fits close to his body. Kota feels a greater fear. He raises his hand. Stops Kota. Your car will arrive in a little while. Wait here, he answers. Speaks deeply. Like a tiger's roar. He looks blank in the air. The man stands 2 heads above Kota. The man is huge. Thinking Kota. They stand and look into nothing. Minutes pass. A car comes rolling. Long black Mercedes. 4 doors. Counting Kota. The only sound he can make is, hum. The car stops in front of him. Can I go in now? Kota asks. He takes a step forward. Don't play smart now. Stay there, I said. Roars the man. He puffs up. Will be 2 meters in diameter. The door opens. A thin man walks over to Kota. He leaves the door open. Kota tries to see through the tinted windows, sensing a figure in there. Here, your keys. It runs on diesel. Remember it. Short answers. He speaks like a Morse machine. Kota looks down at him. Long thin arms. Jacket looks too big for him. The tie is the size of the width of the arms. Kota doesn't answer him, accepts the flat key, sits in the driver's seat. Kota notices the seat must come forward. Criminal man? A sweet voice. Kota shakes his head, grabs the rear view mirror and adjusts it towards the back seat. Little girl? He exclaims. How was it in there? She asks, curious. Kota calms down. The body relaxes. The leather seats feel like sitting on a cloud. It went perfectly well. It was quiet and peaceful. I just think we have to move on. Just go. That is fine by me. I'm tired of all those men too. Next time I won't go here again. Then you have to manage it yourself. It's not for me to decide. Then make up your mind, says Naegi. A decisive sound. Kota puts the car in gear. He is delighted with the manual gear system. The car purrs. He drives out of the parking lot. Through the boom. With difficulty, Kota types the address into the GPS. Now we are ready, Kota tells. He looks down at the clock. 6:01 p.m. Maybe we should try to find something to eat? I like to eat later. Let's drive first, and then eat afterwards. We can make an agreement, but I know when you go sugar cold. Tells Kota. Naegi doesn't answer. They can only hear the noise of the engine.